Let's start by going to pvaas.sas.com. We're going to log in mcdaniel.principal1 with M, D, and P capitalized. The password is on the board. Once you log in, this is the home page that you're brought to. Here we have McDaniel's overall growth over the last 3 years, 3rd grade through 7th grade. We have both math and reading. And looking at the color coding, you can see that McDaniel School is performing above expectation over the last 3 years. We can get more specific by looking at the school's performance diagnostic. And basically, this is a chart that if you look at the bars that are blue, you're seeing the current performance. If you look at the bars that are yellow, you're looking at the previous year's performance, and you have a handout to go with this. The whiskers, which are those red bars, letter I's going across, that's going to give you your standard deviation. Now, when the bars are above the green line, that's showing growth. When the bars are below the green line, we're not showing any growth. So for most of basic, below basic, proficient, there's growth. What we don't have is a lot of growth in the advanced category. And because of that, we're not going to just be looking at moving below basic and basic kids to proficient. We're going to be looking at moving proficient kids to advanced and making sure that if there is room for advanced kids to score even higher, that we push them to do that. So now we need to identify those students that need the push. So under reports, we're going to the very last choice. This whole next section is all based on probabilities, projections of what kids can achieve. So first things first, it says 3rd grade projected to 4th grade. In other words, these are 4th grade students and what they achieved on their 3rd grade test. Here we have another one, 7th grade projected to 8th grade. So this is going to actually give us our 8th grade students, their probability of scoring proficient. So looking at this, there are 44 students with a 70% chance or greater of scoring proficient on this year's math PSSA. Now when you're in Pvaas, you can whittle it down if you wanted to select the subgroup, maybe the girls, maybe the special ed students. We also want to look at the students that have a chance of scoring at advanced. So looking at this, we have 4 students with a 70% chance or higher in the 8th grade that are special ed of achieving advanced. So let's click on those numbers. Once you click, you actually get to see the students and what their probability of scoring on the PSSA is. Now what you want to look for when we're looking at the 40 to 70% chance of scoring proficient, you want to look for the higher numbers. These are the students that have the greatest likelihood within this subset of scoring proficient. Okay, if we were looking at the 70 percentile, you're going to see a lot of 99%. So that means that a student has a 99% chance of scoring proficient on the PSSA. Well, what does that say? That says that the student already has been performing at proficient or advanced levels. So when we're looking for numbers, we're looking at numbers that tell us anywhere from probably anything under 70, when we're looking at the 70% and higher, and when we're looking at 40 to 70%, anything over 60. Again, the goal is to identify those students that can move. So let's be clear. If we're looking at greater than or equal to 70%, anything above 75% would indicate that the student already is performing at the advanced and proficient level. Anything below 70%, those students are close, but they're right on the cusp of performing on the proficient level. The same thing is true if we were looking at advanced. The higher their probability, the closer they are to having already scored on that level. So we need to make sure that those students again achieve at a high level, and we need to move up the students that are close. And we're going to do that by looking at Emetrics. So it's solutions1.emetrics.net/PSSA. The login information is on the board. Once you sign in, you just have to click agree, and then you can right away get to generating a report. Keep in mind that the PSSA from last year was given in 2011. Once you get your report, you're going to go back to Pvaas. Now, I have 2 tabs opened up, and the reason is because I want to look and see at who my target kids are, and then I need to look and see what specific skills they need to work on. So, looking on Pvaas, I identify a student. So now, knowing that this particular student has a 70% chance of scoring proficient on math, I go and I look, and I see that she already did score proficient in math, although she did score below basic in reading. So when I click the child's name, I get a better understanding of what exactly are the targeted skills for this student. So one more time, here's a student, performed proficient in both reading and math, but the likelihood of this child doing it again is not 99%. Why? Well, let's look. Here we have they scored 0% correct on a particular skill. Well, that's my target with this child. This is on the same track as when we use the benchmark data to drive instruction. So here's the task. In Pvaas, identify those students that are most likely to score proficient or advanced. Remember that the higher the probability, most likely that those students already scored proficient or advanced. So in those cases, you'll be looking for any skill that the student might be weak in. For the most part, you're looking for students in the 70s that are in the 70 or greater section, and between 70 and 65 in the 40 to 70 category. Once you know who they are, that's 15 for math, 22 for reading, find out on Emetric what skills specifically they need help in. Once you have identified the specific skills that the students need help in, there are a number of ways to target them. One is Study Island. Well, let's get started.